My lords, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to part 2 of the East Coast Conquest playthrough on Railway Empire 2. So part 1 saw us tick off the first few tasks that we have, and now we're ready to push on and unlock, these completed first of all, and then hopefully unlock our next set of tasks in this same episode. So transporting just under 5,000 passengers and reaching 30,000 citizens in Albany. Albany, we can see it's already growing anyway, so we're looking good there. There's not really anything else they're crying out for. Perhaps the grain and the corn we can bring in from these two farms right here. That would probably be a decent enough start. So I think that's what we'll do first of all then. So let's unpause the game, build us a train station that will reach both of those industries. Let's have it positioned up there, just because the train could be a bit rough up this way. And we'll go ahead and we'll get ourselves a maintenance depot straight away on this one as well. Right, so let's come out of, let's go straight into the middle. That gives us options either side if we need to deploy any other trains to any other cities from this one station. And we'll build a line through into the city of Albany. Obviously we want to be mindful here of this terrain because it's pretty rough, as we can see. Perhaps if we just push that down a bit like that and maybe get this pushed down as well if we can. It's going to increase the cost, of course, because we're doing extra earthworks, but I think it's worthwhile if it keeps our trains flowing as quickly as possible. So where are we headed? Here we are. Here's Albany right here. We've got a little tunnel there. We probably want to avoid that if we can. So let's just move that. If we move that way and bring it up a little bit, there we go. And then have this run straight on, and again perhaps try and avoid that tunnel if we can. Let's see here. It's trying to balance the tunnel, the need between the speed and the tunnel, of course. Here 36 miles per hour, can get that if we straighten up a little bit there. That's not too bad. 42 miles per hour there. Not that our trains can hit 42 miles per hour, of course, but it's nice to have the option for them if we want to. And let's bring you in to platform, and maybe that one there is a good choice. Is there anything else nearby we might want to bring in? Perhaps lumber and wool at some point. Let's bring you in right to the bottom then, shall we? So that's let's put a big tunnel there. We really don't need that. Let's see, can we get rid of that? It gives us a 2% gradient there, 39 miles per hour, but again our trains can't even get anywhere close to that. 19 miles per hour there is a little slow. What if we did that? That's better. What if we do that actually? That keeps us a lot straighter, doesn't it? And maybe even that. Let's get us a couple of bridges, but we can probably get rid of them with some terrain modification here and there. That's better. And if we get rid of that one, will that do anything nice? Yeah, it's cutting a bit off it, isn't it? Making it a little bit more direct. That one we need to avoid the tunnel that it was trying to build us, so that's fine. So overall 39 miles per hour is the slowest, highest gradient is 2%, so all in all a pretty decent line, and we've shaved off quite a bit of money there by getting rid of this tunnel it was trying to put in right here. Perhaps if we just straighten that out a little bit. Oh no, it's going to restrict our speed on that corner, isn't it? So let's see, maybe that will have to do. Or it kinks quite a bit there, doesn't it? I'm not sure I like that. There we go, that's better. And again, 36 miles per hour isn't too bad at all. So let's go ahead and build that. And then we want to, of course, double track this. So we'll run a line all the way back to the farm, or the station at the farm that we've just constructed over here. And now let's have it come in. I was toying with the idea of having gridiron, but we'll just do that instead. Right, so track direction. Let's make sure we're going the right way. I've gone for left-hand drive on this playthrough, being from the UK, of course. And we want a couple of supply towers. Perhaps we'll put one on that corner there, and another one round about here. Wonderful. So now we can get a new rail line. So from Mason Terminal through to Albany, and this will be corn, and grain to Albany. Fantastic. Loco John Bull, I think we'll go for 3 trains. Maybe that might be a bit too much, but we'll see. Freight only. And over here we want them to be fully loaded, of course. And confirm 55,000 for that. So that will help the growth in Albany. What will you be demanding next as we unlock? So milk at 35, vegetables at 40, and then fruits, clothing, wooden planks, etc, etc. So that's something to bear in mind, of course. One thing we could do is we could extend up to Bangor from Portland. That'll get us a connection bonus and some extra passenger traffic as well. So I think we may as well go ahead and do that. It would be foolish not to take advantage of the bonus on offer right there. So let's bring you down, and we've got a sugar farm there, so we don't want to go straight through that. Let's bring you into that platform. 335,000. Well, if you got rid of that tunnel, it's going to shave a bit off. 291. Can't quite afford it, so we'll let the game run in the background just to get the money together to pay for that. Although saying that, we're going to want to double track and then buy the locos, of course. So I think at this point we'll issue our first bond, and we'll go for the maximum value. Higher interest rate, of course, in the longer term, but that's what we're going to go for. There we go. That's going to help fund this next expansion phase right here. Now let's double track this, of course. Get nice speed there. Run you all the way through, and then bring you in to about there. Track direction, left-hand drive. There we go. And railway buildings, we want a supply tower, and we'll put one at the midway point. It's not a it's not an overlong route, this one. So somewhere around there should do. Head into Bangor, make sure they have a maintenance shed. There we go. And let's get a line running from Bangor to Portland. This can be a mixed mode train, I don't really mind that. Locomotive John Bull. And shall we have 4 running this line, or maybe even just 2 to save a bit of money? Yeah, we'll go for 2. And in fact, let's just rename that. In fact, no, that's fine. That's fine. Let's keep that as is. That's not a problem. It's got rid of the little arrow there, but that's not a problem. So that'll help get some more passenger traffic. The production of livestock has been reduced as it has reached maximum inventory. Okay, so our warehouse at Parker Terminal is full. Not too much of a problem. What next then? Well, we could come into New York from Albany and also from Boston. That'll get us some extra passengers on our network, which will help us get that overall total of 4,500. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll put our station in New York, somewhere like that. And again, let's go from the middle, because we might need to start supplying some goods into New York at some point. So we want to make sure we have plenty of platform options available if we do need to do that. And for this one, you may as well just connect into that line there. We're not worried about having an express service or anything like that, so if these trains between New York and Boston and Albany start falling in behind one another, it isn't the end of the world. And we'll just do that to save a little bit of money here. So, track direction like so, that matches up, yes. Railway building, supply tower, can't afford it. But yeah, we will put a supply tower in, of course, as well, as soon as we're able to. 30,000, so it shouldn't take us too long, he says optimistically, to build this supply tower. We already have one anyway. So in fact, why don't we get the train running first of all? So we're coming from New York City to Boston, and I think we'll have 2 trains running this one. We're making 25,000 a week, which is not too bad. This will cost 37,000. So in theory, in 2 weeks' time, we should be able to afford this. What's the line utilisation down here? About 15%, so we definitely have the opportunity to have extra extra services running along here. And we've just got a nice cash bonus there due to the connection up to Bangor, so that's funded our trains. And it will also, of course, fund our supply tower, which we'll put right there. I think we'll also do a line from New York to Albany as well, and we'll just have it come parallel with our existing lines here before we separate away and head up towards, and well, we may as well just connect it in here. like so. And again, that's just to save money, and we saw there around about 15% utilization, so it's not like we're overtaxing these lines. We have plenty of space, so let's just do that, and that'll save us a bit of money. What do we want to do? We want to do our signals, don't we? So traffic direction like so. Yep, brilliant. It does put signals after the supply towers, doesn't it? It didn't used to on Railway Empire 1. Yes, it does. We can see the signal right there. Great. So another new line then from New York to Albany. John Bull, 2 train, 37,000. That should do quite nice. We could always put more locomotives on those 2 lines a little bit later on. That's going to help add towards this goal right here. We've already done 450, so just under 10% of the way there. We're nearly at 30,000 in Albany, which is good to see. What's the demand satisfaction up to? 77%. That's very nice. 78, even better. So that's all good. So I think at this point it's just a case of waiting around and seeing what comes next. We may as well get leaf spring suspension there. That boosts the maximum speed of our locomotives by 10% on the corners. So that's good. That's very useful indeed. Oh, look at that. We have 2 ticks, or 2 arrows. I guess that means we're doing very rapid expansion in Albany. Yeah, it must be an 80% threshold to hit that. So that's very, very good to see. Shows that we're doing good on our demand satisfaction in Albany, which is exactly what we want to have happen, of course. Other than that, the network continues to run absolutely fine, over 1,000, so just under a quarter of the way there to that one, and very close to hitting that one. And with the rapid expansion we're seeing over here in Albany, it shouldn't take us too long at all. And of course, extra revenue from these new lines is nice. That's boosted up to 89,000 per week, which is very, very satisfying indeed. I don't know what's coming next after we've completed these current 2 tasks. I'm going to guess we're going to start heading down here, New York, Philadelphia, and the likes. Yeah, I haven't played through this far yet, so I'm going in blind here. But that would be my guess, which is why I obviously wanted to get this station in New York, because not only does it help us get extra passengers, it'll help us on in the future. Well, I'm gambling it will. I may be completely wrong, and we'll soon find out, won't we? Do we want to increase the number of trains running down here? I don't think so, not at this point. I think the amount that we have running down here is quite a good amount at the minute. Okay, so what task was that? That's the 30,000 passengers, sorry, citizens in Albany. Hopefully we'll have 30,000 passengers, that would be nice. So that's done, so that's great to see. That means they should now demand milk, if I remember. Oh no, it's 35,000. But yeah, that'll be not too far around the corner. Not that we need to worry about it at this moment. We've hit the target that they set for us. Cheaper bridges, do we think that's a good idea? I think so. So let's go ahead and unlock that with the points we have available. Boston is still growing, so that's very good to see indeed. New York, we're not really feeding it anything, but it's nice to have a connection there. We can see 28,000 per train arrival. 89,000 is our balance per week. Do we want to repay the bond? Is that a good idea? 610,000, we have enough, we may as well. And then we can let the money accumulate up once again, just while waiting for these passengers to be brought on through, which is happening at a pretty decent pace. In fact, I might even expand into maybe Syracuse and then into Buffalo. Are they all beer? Yeah, they're all beer, so there'll be no cargo demand there. How many do we have in Buffalo? 19,000. Syracuse, and it's much of a muchness. Would make, I'm thinking Buffalo, because we'd avoid having to bridge over the river twice. Obviously the line from Albany to Syracuse and then Syracuse to Buffalo. So if we went straight from Albany to Buffalo, we'd avoid all of that, and it would help us with some extra passengers as well. How are we doing on that front? Yeah, we're doing pretty well. Could we afford to do that right now? I think we could make a start. I don't think it's the worst idea in the world. Yeah, let's do it. Let's take a chance. And again, if we come from a fairly central platform, it gives us options for future lines if we do need to bring anything into Buffalo later down the line. So let's have this fellow come parallel with our freight line right here. That means we can share the supply tower, of course. In fact, they may as well go parallel all the way in. Is that platform available? Yes, it is. There we go. 449,000. I was paying 200,000 for the station platforms. Do we want to issue that bond back out again? Yeah, why not? Just to get this done and dusted. So that's that. Now let's double track this fellow. I want to come on the outside because of course we're already snapped to these lines here, so there's no room to go in between, so we need to be on the outside. What happened there? I don't know, but it's all sorted now. And you want to connect in like that. 242,000, lovely. Track direction set up like so. So we've already got a supply tower there and there, so we don't need to worry about spending money on a supply tower. So let's get this set up. So this is a beer to beer line, so we may as well make this passenger only, I think. John Bull, let's have 2 trains, express. 37,000, yeah, why not? That'll do. That should help us get a bit. Oh, Buffalo is dwindling, which is not good to see, but it's not really going to affect us, I don't think. Not too much anyway. What else could we do? Well, I think we're pretty good at the moment. We're over 90% 90% demand satisfaction in Albany, so we don't need to concern ourselves about that. And this new line, maybe it'll even get an express rating, which would be quite nice because that'll give us an extra bonus to our income. Of course, we are contending with that 15% reduction in income from passenger and mail, thanks to, are we the Professor? Is that what he was called? I can't remember. But yeah, thanks to that character trait, we don't get as much from passenger and mail, so yeah. Oh, nearly at the 4,800 mark, and it's only July of 1830, so looking very good indeed on that front. How's our money doing? Over 100,000 per week now, so looking very, very healthy indeed. And you're on your way back. Are you an express train? Does it come up with a lightning bolt like it did previously? I don't know. Let's pause it because we've just completed our tasks. And this should allow us to see what comes next once our little gentleman friend down here has finished his little speech. Okay, so what are our next tasks? Achieve an express status on a rail line between Albany and Buffalo. Ha! Well, that was very fortuitous, connecting into Buffalo early, so hopefully that will be an express. I'm very pleased with that. So we're not coming into New York then, we're actually going to Buffalo. Grow Albany to 60,000. Okay, well, we've already seen rapid expansion in Albany, so we just have to maintain that. Deliver 8 loads of corn to Boston. Ah, well, we already have a station down here. It's some distance away, but as long as we do it before 1833, yeah, we're going to be fine. So I think the first thing we'll do then, we may as well connect in to the city of Boston from our station down here. So what we'll do is we'll come off that platform there, we'll run parallel a little while, and then we'll merge into our existing tracks there and have this all be shared. There's no harm in that. Build that then. Let's get the direction signals in. So this is all shared, which means they're sharing that supply tower. We don't want them really passing through Albany, so what we'll do is hopefully after this supply tower we'll branch off and cut past Albany on a little bypass, connect into our passenger line here, just so we don't have to bridge over the river once again, and then perhaps after this junction, so somewhere between this junction and this junction, we'll branch off and run parallel tracks through into Boston. We have platform space available down here for that. So let's see. So after the supply tower, that's where we want to separate out. Like so. We can't build in that shaded area, of course, so we have to skirt past all of this, which shouldn't be too much of a problem. It just means we're going a bit roundabout to get where we need to go, but that's not too much of an issue, I shouldn't think. And hopefully we're not going to be too tight to connect into there. Looks like we're going to be good. And can we get the inner track put in without issue as well? Let's see. So far, so good. A little bit slow there, but it's not too much of an issue. It's not express freight that we're dealing with here. We can afford that as well, so that's great. So that's all set up. Let's do our direction signals there. So we have a supply tower there and there. Let's not worry about one between, where was it? Between here and here. What we will do instead is after this, no, in between these two junctions, is we'll take another stretch of track and then run it parallel with our existing tracks. Why are you doing that? What are you doing? That is... Why are you doing that? That's very strange. So you do that, go parallel, that's better. Why is that trying to do that? That is... Okay, that's... I just don't know what you're trying to do there. Why would you think that's the best thing to do? That is utterly bizarre, isn't it? Let's try this again. And it won't let me build that, and I don't know why. The curve, there is no curve. Right, okay, maybe we can't go parallel then, so let's have it come... What are you doing? Just what are you trying to do, game? I don't understand what's happening here. Let's just restart all of this and let's try coming from the outer track first of all and just doing something like this. Let's just reduce that gradient like that. Build that. Get a parallel track, not to there, that's better. To there. Build that. And then have it come... It may as well come nice and straight. We've got a tunnel there, we don't want that, so we'll just put another track marker in to remove that tunnel. Are you going to be silly about this? Nope. Oh, this is better. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what was happening there, but we found a way around it. And then come into... Why can't you into that platform? What's wrong with that? There we go. 174,000. I don't think we can issue another bond. No, we can't. So we just have to wait for the money for this little stretch of track here, but it shouldn't take too long. At least we're not going to have to pay for the supply tower because we're making use of this one that already exists over here. So 174 is the magic number. In the meantime, how's everything looking? Yeah, hopefully this will be an express service. It hasn't registered as one yet, but maybe it takes a couple of trips before it'll classify itself as an express service, or maybe it's not direct enough. If it's not, we can always just demolish some of this track along here and have it go a little bit more direct, being mindful, of course, we have rivet. Never mind, it's just done. Brilliant. So let's build that track right there then, and let's double it up, and then obviously we'll have them merge together just before they get into Boston. Perhaps have them merge in over there. 122,000. Again, shouldn't take us too long with the way things are going. So as soon as we can, we'll click the build button. There we go. Want to make sure our signals are set up correctly, of course, like so. And now we're ready to get that train rolling. So we want to come from Mason Terminal. Initially, we'll tell you to prioritise corn and no grain. With a full load, could have gone backwards, never mind. Like that. Locomotive will have 2, 3. Yeah, we'll go for 3. And this is going to be freight only. You're coming into Boston. And let's just rename this to the corn, grain to Boston line. Eventually, we will, of course, allow them to bring the grain as well. But for the first train, we want to make sure they have 8 loads of corn to fulfill that objective as quickly as we can. So, yep, that's all good. 55,000. Brilliant. And they should start loading up over here now. Deep pockets. These will be up. What is deep pockets? What does it give us? Further reduction. Now we haven't got enough money to bid for that, so we'll just allow that to pass us by. Why are they both listed as Albany? I'm not sure what's happened. Did I... Oh, I know what I've done. I accidentally called it Albany rather than Boston. So it's on this line here. So let's go here. Oh, no, it isn't. Why do we have two trains on one line? You can't... Yes, you can, because you merge together. I know what we need to do here. Edit the rail line. Mason Terminal. Only on platform 5. Confirm that. As soon as you're loaded, you should depart. But that just means the Boston train can't get out at the moment. But we have plenty of time, so I'm not too fussed. But just to make sure, let's also set them to a specified terminal, terminal 6. There we go. So hopefully you'll depart pretty quickly. Didn't anticipate that. I should have done really, but there we go. Live and learn. It looks like you're going to depart pretty soon, but then you're on the wrong platform, aren't you? So then you're going to get in everybody's way as well. So I think what we'll have to do temporarily is this line, just have them leave with as many as they want, just to get them out of the way, and then well, of course we can set them back to fully loaded once our Boston trains have started to load up as well. Research, what do we have? Nothing yet. Let's just get that to get it out of the way. Not sure if we actually need it or not, but we'll go for it anyway. Right, you should depart pretty quickly now. Increasing distance. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but you're doing it anyway. Edit the rail line. Yeah, you should just head out. There you go. So now we should see the Boston trains arriving, and you should be loading up with corn. That's great. So what we'll do now that you're underway, let's just remove that stipulation here and allow you to take anything you want. And then over here, we'll now wait. We'll now instruct you to wait for a full load as previously. Now that you're out of the way and you're on a separate platform. Wonderful. Okay, so looking good. Small breakdown there, shouldn't be too much of a problem. You now need milk, I guess. Yes, you do. So let's go ahead and get a station up here so we can get you some of that milk brought in. Can we get it over here? Save money on a bridge? Just about. So we may as well do that. Save a bit of money. And let's have you come out of platform... Yeah, let's go for number 3. So you're going to be a bit tight on that corner as you emerge, but that's not too much of an issue. And do we have a spare platform down here? Yeah, we do. Let's go for that one there. 156,000, a lot cheaper without the bridge, of course, so that's good to see. And then let's have this double track on its way back. Although I think we'll only need one train, because they don't need a great deal of milk. In fact, if they're only running one train, we don't need to double track it, do we? We can just do that. Let's give them a supply tower, though. Right about there. And let's make sure we get a maintenance building there as well. And let's just do a single train then from Archer Rest into Albany. And this will be milk to Albany. There we go. John Bull, one train, freight only. And just to make sure, come out with a full load every time. Warning, the route of your rail line runs on tracks that are cleared for both direction, and the route offers no alternatives. If there is more than one train on this route, there will be conflicts. Well, yes, but we're only having one train anyway, so that shouldn't be an issue. So what you're going to demand next? Well, it's vegetables at 40,000. We have vegetables right here at Martin Farmstead. So do we want to perhaps bring a line in from there in anticipation? I mean, you're almost at 40,000, so yeah, why not? And we will have it connected to the, I guess that's clay? Yes, even though I don't think we're going to need to bring any clay in for the foreseeable future. So here we're going to have to pay for a bridge. And I think what's the best option here is just to come around the river's edge a little bit before bridging over. You're a little slow there, but that's fine. And we don't want to share a line here because obviously it's all single track. So let's just do that instead. 400,000. And again, maybe we'll just have a single train serving from Robert Station into Albany and see if that's going to be enough. If not, of course, we can always put in a few passing loops or double track the entire run if we have to. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. So it's 400,000 that we're looking at for this. Shouldn't take us too long to get that, hopefully. How we're doing on finances. Boom, very nice indeed. Very pleasing to see. There's the money for that, so let's go ahead and get it. Supply tower, we are sharing one, so I think, well, it's only one train anyway, so even if he does slow down, he won't be slowing anything down behind him. So Robert Station to Albany. This will be, what was it, vegetables to Albany. Okay. Loco is the John Bull, one of them. Freight only, and a minimum of 8 at every time. Again, there will be conflicts if we have more than one train, but we're not planning on it at this moment, so it shouldn't be a problem. Task 8 loads of corn to Boston has been done. Up to 40,000 in Albany. When can we build that library? Let's have a look. The library is at 50,000. Okay. So as soon as we can, we will get that. Oh, we could have put a business down, actually. New production. Let's see. Weaving mills, perhaps, because we have wool readily available. Let's have a look what else we have nearby. 440,000 for that one. We could have that, but we also need coal. But we do have coal up here, so we could bring it in. I'm thinking we'll get a weaving mill at 440,000. How much do we pay that? 800. So we can't repay that at the moment. So we'll just have to wait until we have enough money. In the meantime, of course, the AI may snap up that building spot and put something else down, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue if they do. I mean, you think they might put a weaving mill down anyway because we have the farm right here, the wool farm, or they may go for the ceramics factory because we have a way to get clay in as well. So you'd think they'd bear that when making their decision. Nothing to unlock yet, so I think we'll wait and get tenders. That reduces a railway building, well, any building construction cost by 5%, which is going to add up and make a big difference in the long run. So that's something we want to keep in mind. Still got rapid growth here. H8% demand fulfillment, so that's nice to see. Boston still continues to tick up nicely in the background. What population are you up to? 42,000. Are you the biggest city we have? Well, New York's 54. I guess New York is probably the biggest. What else do we? I think it will be. Can't see anything else around here that would probably be bigger. Montreal, maybe? Nope, 22. Quebec? Nope, 20. So, yep. New York followed by Albany. And, oh, Boston now is experiencing rapid expansion as well. That's nice. But yeah, Albany should overtake New York pretty soon at this rate. We have enough money to put down that industry if we wanted to. The weaving mill. And we probably have a good overland supply. So we might not even need to bring in a train from here. In fact, let's just have a look. What's your demand satisfaction for wool? You don't need it, so we can't see it, how much you're getting from overland. What are these stars? Oh, it just means it's a new commodity. Okay. Let's just get rid of that. No. Yeah, new production. Weaving mill then? What does distillery need? Sugar and fruit. We're not supplying either of those. Where is fruit? I know we have some down here, but it would be a bit awkward to get to it. We have some up here. So we could buy ourselves access into Southern Ontario and go for that one. That's added cost, isn't it? Ooh, cheese. Or dairy products, I should say. Well, do you demand cheese? No, only at 65,000. So there's not really any demand for the dairy products, so I think putting that down would be a waste. I think weaving mill is the way to go. Yeah, let's go ahead. We'll build ourselves a weaving mill, and we could put it anywhere in the green circle. Okay, let's put it over here. There we go. So what's your overland demand satisfaction for wool? Let's have a look. Nothing yet, but I don't think you've done any overland deliveries at this point. Maybe we will want to put a station here then, and how do we get it in? I think, what are you? Are you the, yeah. Okay, what we'll do, wood as well, that wouldn't be a bad shout, I don't think, perhaps. Yeah, let's have it connect into both. Let's have it connect from about there. Okay, sorry about that. I had a phone call. I don't think I paused the game, so a few things may have developed in the background, which is a little unfortunate, but there we go. Where were we? Yeah, we built a station for the wool farmer and the lumber yard here, Johnson Station. So let's get this connected. Let's first of all give them a maintenance depot. Yes, it's definitely been running because I've got a lot more money than I had when the phone rang, but never mind. Right, so wool. Why can't... Oh, God, it's going straight into a tunnel. Don't think there's any two ways about that with the looks of it, so we'll just have to pay through the nose for that. Luckily, because I left the game running accidentally, it's not going to cost us too much. Now, this is a freight line here, so we can share with this one to save us some money. Let's get the second parallel track put in place, because we're going to have more than one train, just because of the... Oh, it's straight in. Okay. So you're going to have to merge in before the tunnel then and wait a little ways away from the station. That's not too much of a problem. And then where do we want to connect you into? You're also a freight line there, aren't you? You're bringing in the corn and the grain. So what we can do here then is just loop in like that. That should work. 20,000, not too bad. And like that. Do you have a supply tower anywhere on your route? No, you don't. So let's give you one. And let's make sure it's on a separate bit of track there. Yeah, one should do. It's not going too far of a distance, is it? Get our signals in. You're going the wrong way. There you go. So are you. That's better. And over here, do the same as well. Why are you saying you're going the wrong way? Is it because the crossover or something? I'm not sure what's wrong with that. Everything seems to... Oh, idiot. There we go. Now you're happy. That was my own fault there. So let's accept that. And let's get a line from Johnson Station into Albany. You are going to be... The John Bull will have 2 because it's fairly short. Freight only. We want you to be fully loaded, of course, so we'll do that. And let's call this Wool and Wood to Albany. There we go. Confirm and go. So we've got 200 research points. Not enough for tenders at this point. We could get deep pockets, but I don't think we'll bother with that. How are we doing on our task list? Those 2 are done. Nearly up to 50,000 in Albany. I think we'll get to 50,000, and that's where we'll leave it for part 2. And then we'll just continue on in part 3. What's Boston up to? 43,000. So you're catching up quite nicely. New York isn't growing at the moment, 54, so Albany's well placed to overtake New York. I don't think that makes a difference at all. You're just waiting to be loaded. The demand's just not there at the moment, but that's fine. You're the same, so it's a good job we only had 1 train there, because 2 would have been overkill, clearly. So, fulfillment of demand, 86%. That should change when this wool starts coming on through. The fruit as well, as I said, we'll probably get access to this area next. How much would it cost? 490. So we'll do that next time out, and we'll get a line, getting some fruit into Albany, although by that point we should have hit the target of 60,000, I dare say, by the time we get that all done and dusted. Shall we buy the wool farm? Oh no, it's going to cost, like, it's already at level 3. How much would it cost? 650 just for the starting bid. Apologies if you can hear the helicopter there. I've got the windows open because it's quite a warm day. Can we redeem that bond? Not even close. So we'll just have to leave that and just leave things to develop in the background. 50,000. Oh, we can get that. What is it? A library? It's not a museum this time out, is it? No, it's a library. Yeah, library. 100,000 increases city fulfillment of demand by 10%. So yeah, why not? And let's put you over there. There we go. So that should boost our fulfillment of demand nicely, which will keep Albany experiencing rapid growth for as long as possible, which is precisely what we want to see happen. So everything's looking good. You've got a full load, well, not a full load of wool, you also got some wood on there as well. Obviously there is a small demand for lumber, I guess. Yes, there is, which we're obviously going to start fulfilling with our rail line as well, but primarily we want that to be focused on the wool, of course, which I'm sure it will be due to the natural higher demand for, well, it's only not much higher, 1.6 versus 1, but it's still enough to make a difference. So clothing should start seeing demand fulfillment. There we go, 100%, because we've got that cloth. In fact, no, we're getting clothing from New York, aren't we? Yes. Okay, so that's fine, and even some of that cloth might start being shipped into New York. Will some be shipped into Boston, do we think? Let's see. Yes, okay, so should see a decent enough profit on that. Let's just get this last bit of research for there. That's tenders, and I think that's where we'll end it for today. We've not quite hit the 60, but we're up to, well, we exceeded 50,000, and we also have the library in Albany now as well. So what I'll do, I didn't do an outro, a cab ride last time on episode 1. I will do it now. So I'll just save the game, so we pick it back up in January of 1831 when we come back for part 3. And then anything that unlocks and elapses over the cab ride, it's not going to cause us any issues. Not going to miss out on anything, shall we say. What do we want to ride on? Are you just leaving? You are. I think we'll ride on you, the express train from Albany, from Buffalo, sorry, to Albany, since it's just departed. So I'll just save it here, and I'll pick it back up when we're on the train. Okay, so here we are. We're on the train, and we're heading into the city of Albany. We might go back to Buffalo, depending on how quick the cab ride is. These signals are very close together. Can I move over at all? Not really. Oh, there we go. Whoops. About there, that's in the middle. It seems to be going very fast, but it is only at 1 times game speed, so there we go. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed part 2. As I said, it's a bit more casual, this one. It's not necessarily going for the perfect scores, so we will come back to that if we don't get the best rating possible. As always, a big thank you to those of you who have pledged your support over on Pateron. It's a truly fantastic gesture, and I want to, as always, put my thanks on record, so thank you very much indeed. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, all that remains for me to say is, as always, take very good care of yourselves. It's ta-ta for now.